WTBQ.
To the Style Show, a show about decorating, fashion, and fun. Today, we are delighted to host Libby Langdon, who is a designer and television personality and most recently featured on Dakeover on NBC television. Also joining me is my co-host and producer, Jude Hammerly.
Thank you.
My name is Marina Case of the Red Shutters in Warwick. We are the premier source in the Hudson Valley for decorating and design advice, products, and services of every kind. Your home is the story of your life, and at the Red Shutters, we help you tell your story with the utmost taste, style, and value. We serve our clients across all 4 decorating styles of traditional, modern, tribal, and fun. Our goal is to educate about design in your home, wardrobe, and how to have fun doing it. You can learn more about the Red Shutters and the Style Show and decorating in general by logging into our website, www.theredshutters.com, or joining our Facebook page and liking it. Also going to our Pinterest, which is my favorite, latest fun thing to do. We encourage you to call in today at 845-651-1110 with any questions or comments you may have. So I want to welcome and introduce Libby Langdon. Libby, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm so excited to join you today.
Thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it. I was delighted to meet you. Libby and I met at the D&D building where she gave a workshop, and she did a great job. And I think that fellow designers have a tremendous respect for each other. And I know you are everywhere. You're working hard all the time. and I wonder sometimes how you do it. You're on TV, you're working on your clients' homes, and you have tremendous energy.
Well, it's fun. I absolutely adore what I do. And what I love is I feel like there's so many different aspects of interior design and my business that really depend on each other. Like the TV show is great for my clients to see my style and how I really put things together. And then I love working with my clients because working with them one-on-one really helps to inform my product design, and I have a line of upholstery furniture and rugs and wallpaper, and it's really important for me to know that I'm creating products not just in a vacuum or a bubble, but things that people are really going to want to live with. It's one thing to just sort of decide you can sort of do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, the client needs to really love where they're living. So it's really exciting, and I have a lot of irons in the fire, but it's fun. I like it that way.
That's awesome. And I'm very excited to go to High Point the first week in April to see your new line that you did with Braxton Color. And tell us more about your furniture line and what inspired you and how that all came together.
You know, I've been a client and a customer of Braxton Color for a long time. I felt like they had really wonderful value for their upholstery. It was just some of the styles that they carried were a little bit limited and not necessarily what my clients want in their spaces. So I went to them and said, hey, what do you think if I design a line of upholstery for you? And it was wonderful because it gave me the chance to really show some different lines and sleeker, cleaner lines, and all the upholstery it's blend down, which I find my clients really like, and the quality is amazing, but the price is very reasonable. And so, in order to sort of keep current with my clients, I don't have anybody that has ever hired me that says, oh, spend whatever you want.
True.
Everything seems to be on a budget. And but I was excited to be able to offer my looks and furniture at a really good price point. And it's just been really fun to see it take off and, to go into a store and see a sofa and a tag is hanging on it with my name and my picture. It's pretty exciting. So, but I would say fabrics and everything is really inspired based on what my clients continually ask for. So that's the fun thing is to create something that is really working well in the marketplace.
So did you design the frames and also the fabric upholstery that goes on them, or what was the extent of your contribution?
Yeah, I design the frames. I don't design the fabrics. Those I sort of curate and choose, but I definitely design the frames, and it's sort of an amazing process. And honestly, to have all my furniture made in the U.S., it's all made in North Carolina. It's kind of incredible. And honestly, I think sometimes people think that there are machines where you stick a big tree in one end and a sofa magically pops out the other end. But this is all furniture that's handmade. The frames are, wood, and they're crafted, and there's foam, and there's a lot that goes into it. So when you really start to see the process of the furniture, you really understand the value of it. But I do definitely rely on the people at the plant who make the furniture to make sure, the pitch of the chair sits right. It's not too upright. It's not too slanted backwards. Things like that. I really rely on people that do that all day, every day to help me get just the right fit.
Well, that's great. The line appears to span a very wide range of style. You have, the modern end that you could say is summarized by sort of the Parsons chair, maybe the cleanest type of chair there is, and yours is called the Pearson
dining chair. Right, I could use 6 of those right now at a client's house.
And then the line goes all the way over to the Treadwell wing chair, which is almost a colonial design, updated and made modern. So I think you're to be commended for offering your customers such a very wide range of frames.
Well, thank you. And honestly, I would say part of the fun for me in interior design and working with my clients is I've never done the same job twice. And it's really a matter of the people that I work with and what are the things that they want. And I do find that I don't have anyone that wants things super, super modern, but I also don't have clients that want things super, super traditional. So I do sort of look at what I do as kind of an updated traditional style. And the thing that I like about the furniture as well is it can look very coastal. It can look very urban. It's just all a matter of how you use the fabrics on it. So they're versatile pieces, but they work well with many others.
One of the fun things about doing a radio show on style is it really challenges the guest to make visual pictures out of words. So, but I do want to say that LibbyLangdon.com is your website, and when we finish with this show, we'll have pictures added to it, and we'll put it up on YouTube and sort of allow people to have a visual reference to everything we're saying. But in the short term, somebody could go to LibbyLangdon.com and download your catalog, which is great. I also want to point out that in your catalog, it appears that the rugs that you've designed in sort of partnership with Tiger Rug also appear in the furniture catalog, and that's quite neat that you have that level of co-marketing going on between your rug manufacturer, your furniture manufacturer, and yourself.
Yeah, I think it works well, and what it allows me to do is sort of paint a whole picture and tell the entire story. I find that a lot of times people get a little overwhelmed. They're not sure where to start with the design of a room. And if I can really paint the picture for them with the rugs and the furniture and the colorways, and offer things in a lot of choices, it kind of gives them a little start. And Marina, I heard you mention Pinterest earlier. And I tell you what, I'm a huge fan of Pinterest. And as an interior designer, I love it when I meet with a client and they say, oh, I have a Pinterest page. I don't know if you want to take a look at it.
Absolutely, right?
Absolutely, I do.
Yep.
It basically puts me in their head immediately.
Right. It's we used to ask for the tear-outs. Now it's like, okay, show me your Pinterest page.
Yeah, I think it's just fantastic. And I kind of have to giggle when every now and then I hear some designers say, oh, well, I don't want someone to show me what I'm going to do for them as a design. I'm the exact opposite. You show me exactly what you want, and I will help you get it. So I just think it's a wonderful tool. And visually, again, it's sort of like the way I put my furniture together. It allows people to really find a look that they're going for and be able to communicate it. In design, it's one of the hardest things for people that aren't, well-versed in design. It's hard for them to get it out and say what they want.
Right, to articulate it, right.
Yeah, a picture really is worth 1,000 words.
That's awesome. I know, and you do a really good job of promoting it on your website. Again, that's libbylangdon.com. You should definitely take a look at her work there, and she is an incredible television personality, has a furniture line, and is doing incredible things, one of the great decorators of our time. So I'm delighted to have you on today, Libby.
Thank you.
Tell us more, and I was so pleased at that workshop that you encouraged designers. You talked about it's okay to do small projects, and I believe that also. I think that you meet incredible people, and it can lead to other things, and it's okay to use what the client has. I think that, this is the practical approach to decorating in the 21st century. This is how we're doing it today, and I think that other designers are catching up to that idea, and I think you're ahead of your time in knowing that. So hats off to you. That's great.
Well, thank you. I feel like great design should be available for everybody, and I think the landscape of the person who can hire an interior designer has really changed. And I think it used to be sort of thought of as a luxury item or very expensive, or somebody was going to kind of be bossy and tell you what you had to do in your room. And it's really changing. And I think a lot of people have realized they can save time and money by using an interior designer, and that there are loads of us out there that are super happy to come in and just do your master bedroom, or just do your living room, or just do a dining room. There's, the small change leads to the big change, and so, if
right,
somebody's out there and they're not sure about hiring an interior designer, I would definitely investigate it. There's so many people that are thrilled to work with you on a project, no matter the size or the budget.
Well, you raised a very important point that maybe there are some customers who really care about American manufacturing. And I mean, I know that we're always encouraging people to buy American-made furniture. That's a huge business that has been encroached upon by foreign competitors. And while the big box stores maybe have made inroads in terms of the style, they've done so with foreign manufacturing. And so if you hire an interior decorator, you get to specify, hey, I want American-made goods, or I want green, sustainable goods. I want organic fabrics. It allows the customer to really make a statement about themselves that you cannot get in a retail setting necessarily. And I think that's one thing decorators offer that stores don't.
Absolutely. I also think that designers have the ability to bring you things at an even better price than what you might find. And right now, these days there's so much information online, and you can source products online. But a good interior designer is going to help you get it at a very large discount. So, there's a financial savings as well. But I really, I'm an interior designer, so I'm all for us. But I think that if you have thought about hiring an interior designer, start to look some people up, and you might be surprised at the replies that you get.
Right, Jude and I believe that going forward in time that people will be hiring designers more and more, just like we were all getting manicures, and that didn't used to happen all the time. So,
right.
It's going to become more and more regular, and because there's tremendous value in it, like you say, there's value in the ideas. I don't think people realize, and I'm sure you'll agree, how many variables are in a room, and how one change in lighting or one change can change everything, and so it's an interesting topic, and I'm fascinated too by your Dakeover show, which I'm so amazed in how you pull off doing a room in a day. And I would love to hear more of the behind the scenes, like how does that happen? I love how you get out your blow dryers and blow the paint. And,
we do whatever we have to do. But I think the fun thing about my show, and it is called Dakeover, not makeover, because it does all happen in one day.
And that's on NBC.
Yes, and we have new episodes that'll be airing in April and June. So I'm really, really excited. But the thing about the show is it does all happen in one day, but to each interior designer's credit, there's a lot of prep work that goes into it. Everything's really sort of just standing by and kind of ready to be delivered on that day. But I think because I've done so much makeover television, it's sort of just what I'm used to.
Right.
I wouldn't really know how to install a house or rooms in a house over the course of a few weeks. I like to kind of get in there and get out. So, but it is fun to make a huge transformation in such a short amount of time. And honestly, the best part of it is when a client comes in and just freaks out and loves it. And that just is so thrilling. And I think for them, it's shocking to walk in and really see what it's turned into. You know, they might have looked at the items and the furniture and the accessories and sort of picked everything out months before, but to see it all really come to life is really so much fun.
Right. I mean, it's right. There's most designers, things drip in slowly, but when you can put it all together at once, it's a great thing. It's exciting.
I think so. And honestly, I think it's tricky because when people are piecemealing, as design, meaning they're just buying one chair here or one little poof or one ottoman or some throw pillows, and they sort of expect that to completely transform their space. It's a lot of pressure on a poof, some throw pillows. There's a big, focused, cohesive design pulled off is really the thing that can make a dramatic change. So that part of it is so much fun too.
Right. So for our listeners, we have Libby Langdon on today, design and television personality. We're delighted to have her. Libby, tell us more about your color sense. What are you seeing? What are you doing? What do you love to do in terms of color? I know that's sort of our tool bag in this business, and I think that it leads to everything else. But I would love to hear your comments on color.
Yeah, for me, color, I always am taking the larger pieces of upholstery and bigger pieces I'm always keeping those neutral. They're, gray,
them quiet,
navy,
right.
cream, tan, because honestly, I feel like someone can easily buy a gallon of paint and do an accent wall and buy some small accessories and really have the fun color there. But know that overall the design is evergreen and it's going to last for a really long time, and you can change out the hits of color. I had a really great time on the last makeover that aired, and we actually shot it for House Beautiful magazine, and it was on the cover of the December-January issue. And what was so neat was my client had a fabulous painting, and it had a goldfish in it. And it sounds sort of weird, but it was a gorgeous oil painting. And we really used that painting as the springboard for the color.
The oranges, right?
Yes, she really wanted to have some fun with color. So we brought in orange and French blue and mixed it in with some gray and some white. And it's an electric space. It really is fun. So I would say I take my cues from what the client wants, their level of color that they want. But it's interesting because I do see things, the Pantone color of the year. I don't think I'm going to have anybody that wants Radiant
Orchid, right?
No. I would dress that color, and I think that's going to be
I did see that on
expensive.
Facebook. You look beautiful in it. Yeah.
But, so in that respect, I think that I find that people don't want to go as trendy. And I would say one of the biggest colors that I use is blue. I use all shades of blue. I find it's a color that men and women can agree on. I find that it's very livable. There are so many different types of blues. And so there's a broad spectrum in blue for me. And I just find that that's sort of my go-to color.
Right.
for sure, blue is one of my greatest hits.
And I like that, you're using a denim-y blue, an indigo blue, and I think that's a really friendly, relaxed, casual color. It's a great color. And we had Timothy Corrigan on at Schumacher a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying 70% of Americans, like, if they had to choose their color, they would choose blue. So I think it's a hit. It's, the red, white, and blue. Blue is big in America.
Oh, yeah.
And a beautiful color.
Yeah, definitely.
We're seeing the grays, I guess, go by the wayside, and my clients are, going, really?
Right. I mean, well, it's kind of just trickling down to some people. And, it's funny because we've all been working with gray for a while, but it's now sort of hitting the mainstream, But, and I find that some people are still looking for gray to be a neutral, and then others are sort of just afraid it's a trend and it's not going to stick around, so they want something kind of different. But, it really, gray took hold.
Right. And, I love how you talk about, I remember in one show you did, I remember you talked about the tanification of the base, which is great. I'm a big fan of tan and neutral colors, and I agree with you that the big upholstery pieces should just blend in. But I have, and I'm sure you have done this too, where you walk into a house and there is the big, heavy brown sofa, and now you've got to figure out what to do.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of them.
Yeah. I know, it's kind of funny, but I would say it does end up being sort of a mix and match game, like how do you take existing pieces that people have and incorporate them in with new pieces.
Right, it's a challenge, and it's a good thing. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you're in your past, you were a movie and television actor, and how has that influenced your let's just say your career? Obviously, you're still on television. You're sort of in a nonfiction role, but was your training in TV and movie acting helpful in your career as a decorator?
Absolutely, without a doubt. I think what it allowed me to do was feel very comfortable meeting perfect strangers. And I think as interior designers, we're all performers of sorts. Every now and then a client will say, "Oh, I want this," and you're looking at it and thinking, "Ooh," and you have to sort of turn your acting on and say, "That's great, let's do it." But I think the ability to comfortably work with people that I've never met before and make them feel like they can trust me and that I'm going to guide them in the right way has definitely helped. And just being able to be up and talk in front of people and be very comfortable with that has absolutely helped me. It helps me when I go, walk contractors through a job, and there's a certain confidence there that really helps me without a doubt. So, yeah, it was great training, and what I love now is it's so much more fun to play Libby on TV than somebody else.
That's great.
That's funny.
We have Libby Langdon on today, the Style Show, and your personality, Libby, really comes through. Your excitement about the business. You obviously are passionate, and that's a wonderful thing. You know how to work the angles on the camera and get everybody excited. And I couldn't agree with you more that I think it's important to educate everyone about decorating and get them excited. There are hundreds of variables that go into a room, and to help them get their bearings, I think it's important. And whether they do that by playing on Pinterest or studying various websites and so forth, I think it's important to educate our customers.
Definitely, absolutely, and I think an informed consumer is always a better consumer, and there's so much information that all of us can glean from the internet, and it's an incredible tool, and I think it's research and looks and things that you like and help you convey ideas to anyone that you're working with, particularly something as visual as interior design. So it's really fun. It's an amazing dynamic business, and I feel like it's constantly changing. And it's fun to see where it's going right now.
Okay, great. Well, let's keep in touch. We're delighted to have you here today on the Style Show, a show about decorating, fashion, and fun. You can visit our website, theredshutters.com, and also Libby Langdon's website at libbylangdon.com, and like our page on Facebook, The Red Shutters, and also Libby Langdon on Facebook. So thank you, everyone, for joining us, and thank you, Libby, for being here.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.